Hi folks, welcome back to the shop here at Project Pine Hills. Today we're talking about this Olight Oknife U1 Pro utility knife. You can see it has an SK5 steel blade, G10 handle, and it weighs 3 ounces. Quick look at the back, you can see it has a carbon fiber overlay, and it's made in China. Now here's the Oknife U1 Pro. Oknife sent me this to check out. Now this is a brand new knife from Oknife. They just made it available. I'll have a link in the description. Now this is an update to the Oknife Otacle U1 they came out with about a year ago. We had a video of this on the channel. I carry this knife every day. It's a utility knife that has a quick deploy blade like a pocket knife. I can use this thumb stud, flip the blade out, and you can see it has a utility blade here on the end that's held in by this screw. And when this knife first came out, we talked about how it's similar to a Milwaukee Fastback. The Milwaukee Fastback basically combines the features of your standard utility knife with a pocket knife. And the Milwaukee's become very popular. You push the button in, you can flip the blade out. Now this is the Milwaukee Fastback 6-in-1, which means if I flip this around, it has a screwdriver in it. I can pull this out. You can see it has a number 2 Phillips. It's got a 1/4 inch flat bit there, and it also has a 1/4 inch nut runner right there on the end. Clicks into place. I push it all the way out. It has a liner lock in it. You can see that lock right here that locks that screwdriver into place. If I push that liner lock over, I can fold that screwdriver bit back down. But you notice that there's some play in this blade like most utility knives. Just like with this USA-made Stanley 99E, there's play in the utility blade. What we liked about the Otacle U1 is this utility blade acts like a fixed blade. It has a screw, it sets it here, and there's no play in the blade, making it feel a lot like your standard pocket knife. You can see here with the new Oknife U1 Pro, they have that same feature. Have a thumb stub where you can flip out the blade. You notice now the blade has Oknife written on it. Previously it was a Work Pro blade. We'll talk about that. It works like that original Otacle U1 knife. Now what's new is I can take this knife, flip it around, push this button, and I can deploy a screwdriver. Now you can see it's not a number 2 Phillips like that Fastback. It's got a precision screwdriver in it, so it's a Phillips size 0. If we pull that out, you'll see it has a 3.5mm slotted bit, and it has a 4mm hex bit holder here in the center. So you can take that bit out, flip it around, have that flat bit on there, push the button, put that screwdriver bit right back in there. You can see this U1 Pro also has a little nail slot here. You can just take your nail and put it in there and pull out that bit holder that way if you'd like. Now the screwdriver bits are magnetically retained in the driver. You see when I put it in here, you'll hear it click down into place. And the bits do have some magnetism. So that's what's new about this Pro version. You have a screwdriver on one end. When you flip it around, you have a knife on the other. Now let's take a closer look at this knife. If you look at it, you'll notice it has a slider lock in it, not a liner lock. A liner lock would be like the Civivi Elementum knife. I flip it out, you can see here a piece of metal flips over, that's the liner lock. I push that over, out of the way, can shut that knife. The Oknife U1 Pro has a slider lock, or I think they call this a rail lock. In fact, this whole system I think they call rail lock. This has a slider type lock in it. You can see this slider lock slides back and forth. I'm moving it back and forth now. We push it forward, the knife unlocks, and it's spring-loaded and retained in with that same slider lock. See how the slider lock is moving? We flip it out, it locks open. So you can take 2 fingers here, you can pull this slider lock in, and you can flip the blade in. You could choose to deploy it by pulling the slider lock in and flipping the blade out, sort of like that Fastback. The Fastback has a button though. But you can say I can do that, or I can use this thumb stud and flip the blade out. Now, how does the blade retain? If you look here, it has this screw. Take a closer look at that. You can see it has some knurling on here on top of the screw. They even show you what direction to tighten it. Of course, it's clockwise. So to remove the knife blade, you just turn this screw. And this knife, unlike the original, comes with a multi-tool inside that you can use to help you get this loosened. But I found with my knife, I don't need it, but you can start the screw and then you can turn it by hand. So we back the screw out. You don't have to take the screw all the way out, and that way you don't lose the screw. So we just take the blade, pull it down, it comes right out. So you can see it's a standard utility knife blade that lies in this liner right here. So take the knife, new knife blade, put it in here. We turn this screw clockwise and tighten it in the direction of the arrow. Make sure the blade's all the way up, tighten it up. And with my knife, I find I can tighten it enough by hand. But if you want, you can take the tool, put it on there, and just tighten it up a little bit more. Give it that 1/4 turn to really lock the blade down. Now that blade is fixed into place. So that's the Oknife U1 Pro. And now a quick comparison of the size here. You see them together. It's a little bit longer than the original Otacle U1. Closed, it's 4.3 inches long, with 2 inches of usable blade when it's open. There's a side comparison with the blades out. You can see there that it's not a whole lot longer. Here they are side by side, and you can see that the front end is exactly the same as the original U1. They just added length here for this. Something else I noticed that's different. This is the original Otacle U1, and you can see the knife has a liner in it, but it stops about halfway down the scales. Most knives like this Civivi have a liner that goes all the way down the knife with the scale on the outside. But the original Oknife had a liner that goes halfway down, and then you have the scales below that, and there's no liner. This is the new U1 Pro, and you can see it has a metal liner that goes all the way down the knife, down to where the screwdriver is mounted. You can see it's recessed here a little bit, right where I'm pointing, but the metal liner on this knife goes all the way down the knife. Now the bit sizes in this knife are standard. You can see if I put this caliper on here, they're about 4 millimeters. That makes it standard, which means I can use bits from a standard precision bit set like this Kaiweets set. So I can take out the double-ended bit, put in one of the precision Kaiweets bits. This is the T15 Torx. And now I can have whatever bit I want to carry in this knife with me. And you can see if I can tap it, that bit doesn't fall out. I can still flip that bit out. Now I've got a T15 with me. So you can carry whatever precision bit you want in here in this knife, as long as it'll fit between this liner right here. You can see this T15 goes right in there. Now this U1 Pro has a deep carry pocket clip just like the original. You see the clip goes all the way up to the end and turns up. So for example, if you put this in your pocket, you'll see it's going to go all the way into your pocket. It's not going to extend the top of your pocket. You got an opening here in the clip. That's for a lanyard if you want to add one. Again, this one didn't come with a lanyard, but the original U1 did. I don't know if it's going to come with the U1. You have to check the description. I'll have a link in the description. Now you see the original Otacle U1 came with a Work Pro blade in it. The new U1 Pro has an Oknife branded blade in it. And here's what it looks like when you take it out of the box. They sent me 2 colors, but it comes with the knife on one side and the tool on the other. Now the U1 Pro comes in 3 options. This is a G10 scale with a carbon fiber overlay. They also have it in Doughnut, also a G10 scale. And they have one that comes in Micarta. Now Micarta is a man-made resin. Now Oknife explains in their documentation this Micarta has sort of a whitish green color, but over time this whitish color on top will go away and it's going to become a darker green. So they have it Micarta in 2 G10 scale options. Now these 3 knives have a different feel. The carbon fiber overlay has sort of a smooth feel to it, whereas the Doughnut and the Micarta have more of a textured feel to both of them. Now Oknife also sent me this Otacle brass hex bit driver. You can see they call it the Otacle D1. There's the bit loadout. You can pause the video and check that out. So there's a look at that Otacle D1. You see they have D1 right there on the side. Of course, it's made of brass. It feels very solid. Really nice etching there on the side of the tool. See it all the down through there. It's got a little door in the side. You just grab and you flip open, and you can see it has 4 precision bits in it for a total of 8 sizes. Those bits just sit right in there. So I can tip forward this one. It's a number 2 Phillips. Put that on the tip. And the door is nice because you can see it has this ball bearing right here. And when you shut this little side door, it clicks into place. Really nice, really solid feeling. I like that number 2 Phillips bit. It's not magnetic, but it holds that screw really well. You can see how well it fits in there. So that gives you practical purpose to have this every day on you. And what's nice is these double-ended bits will also fit the U1 Pro. So you can pop those in there. Now you got a number 2 Phillips on your U1 Pro. You can just fold that right down in there. You can see it fits right down in that side, doesn't fall out. It also comes with a lanyard. There's a couple holes here in the back that are mounting options. You can see they're pretty big, but just a really nice, well-made precision driver. It also comes with another bit in the box that's not inside the driver, and it's not a double-ended bit. It appears to me to be sort of a type of pick. We'll have to look that up. Let me know what you think that is, but I'll have a link to this. You can check it out. Here's a look at all the bits the D1 comes with. You can pause the video and check those out. Let me know in the comments what you think of this new Oknife U1 Pro. I'll have a link in the description, and please remember to like and subscribe. All those actions help me to continue to bring content to you here on the Project Pine Hills channel. And with that said, check out this next video.